Hello, everybody, and I wanted to welcome Cindy J. Holbrook, and we met online, and she just finished this amazing summit called Rocking Online Visibility. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but I wanted to interview her because I think she has something so valuable for all of you. She's known as the Visibility Wiz, and so she helps people become visible online, and it's such an important component. Well, I'm going to ask you also why visibility is so important, but it's just obviously such an important component of your business, because if you're just kind of holed up, in your room or your office and don't get out there, and it's hard. Sometimes people really feel uncomfortable kind of getting out there, getting visible, and it really can hurt your business. So welcome, and you ready, Cindy?
I'm ready when you're ready. Thank you for having me, Ellen. It's a pleasure.
So I did want to talk about this because you just finished doing this thing. It's called Rocking Online Visibility with like over 40 speakers, and I was one of them, and that's kind of how we got to know each other. So one of the things that I was really personally impressed with was the level of speakers that you got. And I was wondering how you organized this and the results that you got from it.
For years, I always want to speak to the people at the top. Those are the people that I want to learn from, the people that I call the influencers. And so when I decided to do a summit earlier this year, it just felt good to me. I really listened to my inner guidance and what it's telling me to do. So I went ahead and stepped out and decided I was going to do this summit. So I just started reaching the people that I number one, have learned from in the past, and also number two, things that I wanted to learn, because as you know, things online are constantly changing. Mm-hmm. So, and also I wanted really to ask the questions that so many of my clients ask me to these bigger influential leaders. So I just started reaching out, asking different people, definitely ask for referrals.
Right.
And
I think that's how you found me.
Through could be, yeah. I'm not quite for sure.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And some of the groups that I've been in. So it's really, whenever you're first starting out, it may be a little bit more difficult. It's not impossible, but it may just be a tad bit more difficult. But I was able to utilize some contacts that I've already had because I've been in business for so long. But whenever you're new, it's definitely knowing how to get out there and just get your name known by these influencers. In my Facebook group, somebody had said something, so I started asking people, what do you do to get the influencers to notice you? And so a lot of people typed in different things, and then I put my answer. And a lot of people are always going to say, well, go and ask them, how you can help them or how you can be of service to them, which is good to an extent. But however, how many of these type of calls or messages do these influencers get? So what I like to do is I like to retweet their stuff. I like to comment about them. Wow, I just heard the greatest message by Ellen, you should go see this.
Right.
Because whenever you start seeing somebody is mentioning you, you take notice.
It's funny because I just wrote a blog post about 5 steps to, get to know a partner. It is very much like that. Yes, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And so even though with me, because I did already have some contacts, I was just asking for referrals. Hey, who do you know, that can do this? Do you know anybody else? Would you recommend so-and-so? Steve Osher, that's how I got him, was from a referral from somebody else that I already knew.
Right. Anyway, I was very impressed with how it was organized and how you got together. 40 people is a lot of people to interview in advance and then to put out their stuff and it was 2 weeks, I think. So for all those 2 weeks, sending out emails, 3 weeks, an email every single day and who's up now. And then you had an upgrade, and to organize all of that was a pretty big project. So congratulations on that.
And I do have a VA too. I couldn't have done it with myself. In hindsight, I actually put all of this together very quickly. Mm-hmm. I would say within 10, 11 weeks. And so I was really bombarded. So in hindsight, I really wished I had given myself an extra month or two.
Right, right. That makes sense. That actually makes sense. Yes. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about you. You're known as the visibility wizard, Wiz.
Wiz.
Wiz, the visibility whiz, helping online business owners get seen and known so they can get clients more easily, quickly. It's this obvious thing, but I just wanted you to talk about the importance of visibility. So I think everybody knows what it means. That's what's obvious, but why is it so important?
Well, it is important, but what is your idea about visibility? I've, again, asked a lot of clients and a lot of colleagues and different people, what does visibility mean to you? What are you going to get when you are fully visible? Because some of the answers that I've gotten have been very interesting. And bottom line is if you're getting 100,000 people looking at your site every month and you're not getting any visitors, you're not really visible. Just because you're being seen by the masses does not mean that you're being visible. Years ago, I was an affiliate marketer, and so whenever I was sort of transitioning between affiliate marketer to coaching, I had this website which was all about personal development. That's all I wanted to do was personal development, very general. It talked about everything, relationships, health, meditation, religion, everything to do with self-improvement this website talked about. I was getting 30,000 visitors a month to my website, and I had 0 sales.
Right, right.
So visibility is not just being seen by the masses. Visibility is being seen by people who identify with you, people who are waiting to learn from you, people who need what you have. So it's better to be visible to 50 people that are craving your information than 30,000 people that are tire kickers, for lack of a better word.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. So how did you go from this website where you were doing personal development with 0 sales to being the visibility whiz? How did that happen?
It's been a transition.
Obviously.
As I said, when I first started, I've been online. I've had an online visibility of some sort since 2001. Whenever the internet came to be, I knew that there was something there for me. But because of my own personal journey, I believe, everything happens for a reason. I started out selling little pewter figurines. I used a drop shipper. And so I had a Yahoo store that I opened September 10th, 2001, like just, before 9/11. And
oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, it was literally, I opened up that store and I went to sleep and I woke up to 9/11.
Wow.
And, I had that store for quite a while, and the only reason I even closed it was because the drop shipper went out of business. So I learned a lot about marketing and getting these little pewter figurines in front of the right people. And then around 2005, I learned about affiliate marketing. So then I started creating websites around affiliate marketing. I had a diet website that was very lucrative. I was making good money with this. It was called Honest Diet Reviews. I was reviewed all the different diets, and naturally, like if you read my review about Weight Watchers, went to Weight Watchers and bought Weight Watchers, I would get a commission. And I did very well with this for years until Google changed its algorithm.
Right.
My business died overnight.
Yeah.
So then I was like in limbo again. What do I do? Because just things change.
Yep.
So that is whenever I decided started my personal development thing. And that's how I found coaching. So whenever I first became a coach, again, I wanted to coach everybody, like so many new coaches.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to help everybody, with whatever problems they have. Everybody kept telling me, Cindy, you need to be a divorce coach. I was so against that. I said, no way. They said, from your divorce, what you experienced, you need to be a divorce coach. No. So for a year and a half, I really struggled with coaching until I went to a conference, and it was there that I decided the conference was teaching you about how to be an authority in a subject.
Mm-hmm.
And that's whenever I thought, okay, I give in. I'm going to be a divorce coach. And that's when my business took off. but I live in a very remote area in middle of California, sort of near Death Valley. It would take me hours. To get anywhere, I have to drive 2 hours.
So I'm in a similar situation. Yeah. I understand that completely.
So therefore, to go network or to go speak, I don't like driving a whole lot, especially not Los Angeles traffic. So for me to drive, 6 or 7 hours to give a 1 or 2 hour speech just wasn't.
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
But because of my prior experience, then I was able to start utilizing the internet to get visible because I had a lot of prior experience. And so, as I said, my divorce coaching exploded. And what I noticed, even though you have a niche, doesn't mean that's the only person you're going to help. What started happening is a lot of my divorce clients wanted to be coaches, and then they wanted to know how I was successful. I can't tell you how many phone calls I've received from the place that I got my divorce coaching certification from saying, hey, can you teach me how to get visible like you? I would go to conferences and people would go, how did you get on Huffington Post? How did you get in Prevention Magazine? How did you get on Huffington Post Live, on eHarmony? How do you get all these places? And how do you get all these people to your website? Can you teach me? So I started helping these other people. So it was sort of a natural transformation from divorce coaching into being the Visibility Wiz, but it was because I had to teach myself and really utilize it before I could help others do it. And the thing with visibility too, and it's one of the reasons why I don't call myself a visibility strategist, is because there's so much about visibility. First, it's your confidence. Mm-hmm. How confident are you to do whatever? And then also it's where do you want to be? A lot of people just want to go straight to Facebook. They think everybody's on Facebook, but you're going into this massive, it's like you're going into New York City and you're trying to find one red door. You don't know what street it's on. You don't know what street it's on. You don't know what part of New York City it is, but you better go find that one red door. And that's sort of what Facebook is, but everybody wants to go to Facebook, and it's a great tool, but it's a tool. It's not your business.
Right. And you don't own it. And, there are lots of other, mm-hmm. I, for example, find that people kind of think that they shouldn't go into LinkedIn when sometimes it's just, it seems to me to be the right place for them, just for example. So I think that's a great story, and I relate to it a lot. A lot of the whole thing about you living in the middle of nowhere is how I started doing webinars, which is what I spoke about on your in your summit, because I was too far away from anything. I'm 4.5 hours from St. Louis, Chicago, Minneapolis, and Omaha, right in the middle of all of those places, and 1.5 hours to the closest airport. So, and nothing really close by. It's a rural university town. So again, I had a similar experience of getting online because traveling wasn't going to work. Right. Yeah.
And I used webinars a lot myself too, but then it's like, how do you promote those webinars and how do you get out there? So there's so many ways to be visible online. And people get really confused and they think they have to do everything, but it's taking that first step. And it's just saying, hey, I'm going to take this first step. When I ask people why they're not more visible, they give me 2 answers. Either I'm afraid, just afraid to be visible, I'm sort of not confident enough, or they say, I don't know where to start and I don't want to waste months on the wrong strategy.
Right.
And whenever you start digging down with that, wasting months on the wrong strategy, they're afraid of making a mistake. So it's still fear-based.
Right.
And you're never going to accomplish anything if you stay stuck. There's nothing that says if you start with Facebook today, you have to stay there forever. There's nothing that says if you start with webinars that you have to do webinars for the rest of your life and you can never do anything else.
Right. You have to try something. You have to try something and see how it works. You have to go out and do something. Do you have 2 or 3 tips for people about how to become more visible online? Obviously, it's different for different people, but
it is. It is. And I'm going to say, first of all, engagement. A lot of people always, especially with social media, how do you engage? And I don't care what platform you're on. It's instead of going there saying, I'm selling my stuff, look at me, go on these places and be curious about other people. Ask questions. Get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, otherwise it's like you're just online saying, let's get married right now. But whenever you start asking people questions like, hey, how did you get into being the Visibility Wiz? How did you get into webinars, Alan? And you start asking people questions, you're going to start building engagement. You're going to start building visibility, because we all like to be noticed. And whenever somebody else notices you, it's natural to want to know more about them. So whenever you start asking questions to other people, they're going to notice you.
That's a great tip.
The second one is, I have a program that I teach, and I think this is huge because a lot of people always ask me, how am I everywhere? You can write a 400 or 500 word article, and you can create over 50 social media posts out of that one article with just a little bit of extra effort. And so it's repurposing your stuff. Don't think that one thing is only good in one place. And my third tip, which a lot of people really like, a lot of people get confused about guest articles. And this also had a lot to do with my success, was writing guest articles. And how did I get all these places? I don't care if my website, cindyjholbrook.com, is #1 in the search engine. I care that my brand, is represented. So the best way to do that is do a Google search on whatever, like do a Google search on the best webinar teachers or
Mm-hmm.
something, or the best diets out there, or holistic health coaches, whatever it is, and start looking on the first page of who shows up. And then you need to go to these websites and see if they accept guest articles.
Right.
If they accept guest articles, follow their directions and submit a pitch. You have, like, probably, I don't know the exact percentage, but off the top of my mind, I would say about 80 to 90% better chance of being ranked high in Google for your article that's posted on these sites that are already up in Google than trying to do it on your own. So my first article that I ever published was on a site called Pick the Brain, and it was 21 Habits of Happy People. And I got 750 opt-ins to my list within the first few days of that.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was like the best that I ever had. But also, till the day that I let that site go, my old site, I got leads from that article that I had written in 2008. So whenever you get these bigger places, even Huffington Post, Prevention, eHarmony, they're going to continue to bring you in leads forever. I think
Huffington is not accepting guest posts anymore, but they did for a long time. And I know,
yes. And now I think one of the big ones is Medium.
Yes, I've been using that.
Medium.com yet, but that is something that I've been researching and that I'm going to be utilizing in the near future.
So I've put some things up on Medium.com, but I haven't seen so much in the way of results. I'm still have to look and see that. And I use something called Missing Letter. Do you know what Missing?
I haven't heard of Missing Letter.
It's a plugin that automates posting to. I love it, and you just have to check a box and it'll put it on medium.com for you. You still have to go into medium.com and publish it, and kind of do a little editing, but it makes it very easy. So I've been trying that, doing that too. And so these are great things. One about asking questions. I usually call it creating relationships, but I think asking questions is really good. And in terms of doing presentations and webinars, my fields, one of the things I say is when you stand up there, practically the first thing you should do is ask your audience a question. So it's the similar type of thing. And repurposing your articles is a great idea. In terms of presentations, I think of them, one of the ways I tell people to repurpose things is to speak out. And speak out your article and turn it into like a blog post or into a video. And then the thing about doing guest articles and kind of syndicating what you do, all over. So I think that's great. Thank you so much. This is really valuable information. I'm going to put a link. You have, you told me you have a link called 5 Secrets to Online Visibility. It's an ebook.
Correct. 5 Secrets to Online Visibility.
And so I'm going to recommend that people pick that up because I can already tell you have lots of valuable information for people. So definitely people should go pick that up. Great. Okay. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me, Ellen. It's been a pleasure.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.